All right, everybody. I got the one and only Sofiya in the house. Um, One of my clients here in Health Changer Academy, and we go back, way back. How far do we go back, Sofiya?
I don't know. I think like 12, 13, when we were 12, 13, Sunday
Sunday
school.
school. Sunday
Yeah,
school. Was I a good kid? Do you remember me as a good kid or mischievous kid?
we're one of the
One of the what?
one of the funny ones.
Okay. Okay. I loved your mom. Like honestly, when I reflect on my kind of childhood, like your mom left like a huge positive imprint in my upbringing. Um, so that's just what I remember as a kid. So, love your mom. But we're not here to talk about your mom, as cool as she is. We're here to talk about you. And so, a little bit about you. You're married, right? You guys have one kid. You're a working
Yep.
mom. And so you've been in the program for about 20 weeks or so. And so I want you to just kind of think back on kind of what your life was before we started working together. Kind of like, what were you feeling? Were you demotivated? Were you lost? Were you confused? Were you overwhelmed? Like, did you try other diet programs and lost, failed, or regained, or like, what was your life like before you and I started working together?
Well, before, obviously, I've tried different things because a lot of you hear one diet's here. For example, keto. Everyone was keto. Okay. Then it was paleo. Then it was just so many different things that, yes, some of them were very successful. But then as you slowly get off of them because life happens, you go on vacation, you get off the wagon, and then you start kind of going back your old ways.
Mm.
So it's not very sustainable to start anything. So a lot of discourage because you're like, okay, so I'll get on this diet, I'll lose this much weight, but then time goes by and you'll gain it all back. So then at one point you're like, okay, I guess I'll be like this forever.
Mm.
And then like go back to my mom, it hit me that no, 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 no. After her health issues and diabetes and all that runs in my family, that kind of scared me. So I was like, you know what, if I'm looking for something, I want to look for something that can help me uh, get on the track where it's like a lifestyle, not like a let me start this because I know there's going to be a finish line. I want to
Yeah.
start something and continue that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So,
so go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
so for me, I used to always watch you from just like the Instagram, Facebook, some of the posts, and a lot of the stuff catch my eye that yes, I think this is something that I can do.
Okay. And what were those things? Just curious for myself. What were some of the things that you heard or you saw or you read from my page or my stories that kind of stood out to you, or maybe just even sounded different than what you've tried in the past?
There's certain things that stood out that I can continue living the way I was. I could have anything I want. I don't have to cut anything out of my life. And that if I want to have that pizza, I could have that pizza, and that I don't have to wait for that. Uh, a cheat meal or a cheat day. That kind of like, okay, I can have whatever I want and still be able to lose weight.
Yeah. So do you eat carbs and bread?
Oh yeah, I never give up on those.
Bread is life, baby. Bread is life. Um, okay, and so what was kind of that tipping point? Because I think most people, right? We think about weight loss. We kick the can, like, okay, I'm gonna start January. I'm gonna start next month. Like, I'd say most people in the back of their mind, at least, right? Think, want to lose weight. But not everybody's ready at any given moment. What was that moment for you when you're like, okay, I gotta really connect with Yuri. Like, I need to actually like take action on this feeling that I have of desiring to lose weight.
I want to say the biggest thing was like going inside your closet and all you have
Mm,
is scrub. Feels good when you have them on. Everything
mhm.
else you they don't fit, they don't look good, and it's like, or you wear your favorite Lululemon with a top kind of a shirt, and that's it. But going out, like going to a party, a wedding, church, and it's like, oh, I gotta go buy me something. I gotta go buy me something, and it's like, and you gotta add the X, another X, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, I think this is like the breaking point where it's like when you walk into the closet, and I did a clean out, and I had no clothes.
Mm.
So okay, I need to figure it out what I'm gonna do because that's a lot of stuff that I have that I can't wear, and I'm not just gonna put them aside to okay, this is the pile I wear when I get skinny. We all
Yeah,
have that.
we all have that pile, right? Most
Yeah.
of us, we probably wear 30% of the clothes that we could actually fit into, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so you're saying you're at the point where like you either A, needed to buy bigger clothes, or B, lose weight to get into the clothes that you have.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, it was to the point where I was like, okay. And then you're like, okay, I'll start Monday. I'll start my low carb. I'll start my this, and then you start, but then the weekend comes, and that's where the real problem comes. Because Monday through Friday you could sustain, you're busy at work, but it's the Saturday and Sunday that you kind of like, okay, what do I have? Where can we
Hmm.
go?
Yeah. Now, did
Thing
you?
is going out to eat. Um, uh, I have friends who go out with us and they never eat because they're like, oh, I can't have that. That's part of this diet. I can't have that. I can't eat at a certain time. I can do that. And it's like, I don't want to live like that. If I'm out, I want to eat and not feel guilty.
Mm, yeah. Wow. So, did was your social life in any way affect? Because I know I talk with people, and sometimes they're like, I don't like going out. I don't like dressing up because I don't like how I look and feel in my clothes. Did that part of your life ever get affected about like dressing up, feeling beautiful, going out? Did you look forward to that, or did it affect you there too?
Kind of stressed me out because again, you have to go into the closet and find something that would fit. And it's like, especially in the summer. In the winter, you can put a jacket over and you're fine. But especially in the summer, yeah, there was lots of places I didn't go because I was like, nope, I can't fit into this. I don't have that. I'll just stay home. But not to the point. I mean, I would still go out, but I wouldn't feel good about it.
Okay. And how was your relationship with your guys' son? Kind of when you're in the worst shape of your life, if you will. Did you have energy to engage with him? Like, how was that dynamic? That dynamic.
I gotta say, I mean, I wanted more. Obviously, he wanted, let's go here, mom, let's do this, let's do that. And you'd go with him, but while you're there, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go home.
Mm.
But he was like, no, let's stay. And so to yes, when because he was a very, very active boy. Not anymore. He overgrew that. But yeah, it was always you had to run after him, you had to do things, and it's like, nah, I'll skip mall this time. So it's kind of like now it's the opposite. Now I'm pushing him to get out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I honestly, Sophia, I don't think his energy levels changed. I think yours changed. No. Uh,
Or
yours went up. Your son's like, Mom, you're too much for me now. No. Okay, so kind of, go back with me 20 weeks, right? What was that moment for you that you said, you know what? I think I need to join Yuri's coaching program, Health Changer Academy. What was that moment for you?
Well, I know I didn't want to start in January, so I was like, either I need to start something now and see how far I can push myself. But my thing was when I was laying down and I was looking through my lab results, going a little personal, and
Yeah.
looked and I was, oh, I'm at the pre-diabetes stage, not a
Mm,
diabetes, but pre. And that kind of scared me because that runs in my family and I work in the medical field. So people think, oh, diabetes, people live with that for years. Yes, but you got to understand that affects all your organs. So I said, no, I need to do something now because that scared me because I went to sleep just thinking about it because my mom is going through that right now with her diabetes. And so I was like, no, I need somebody that I can trust and I know because I've done different things and different coaches reached out to me to do different things. And I was just not interested because
mm.
I know that I wanted to start and I wanted to reach out because when somebody's reaching out to you, it's kind of like you want to do them a favor, but it's not for you.
Mm.
So that's when I was like, you know what? Just gonna reach out.
Okay. Now,
The
speaking of
first
other people,
for the
oh, I'm sorry, you kind of skipped a little bit. Say that again.
You're the only person that I kept thinking over and over that, hey, if I can start something, I can continue living the same. I don't have to change anything. And this was something that I knew I could do it.
Yeah. And speaking of a lot of, trainers, coaches, there are a lot of us, out there, right? Like I recognize that I'm not the only one. There's probably so many voices coming at you, right? And people have all kinds of different opinions. People, live by keto. People tell you sugar is from the devil. Don't even eat fruit. All kinds of just, I guess nowadays, if you have a six pack, that qualifies you to be a coach. So apparently, but here's what I do know. I do know this, that many of us who have tried some sort of weight loss program, diet, and we failed, right? There is that kind of underlying fear of failure again, right? Like, am I going to fail again? Is this just another thing that I'm going to try and then I'm going to end up just where I was, where I was with the other programs? Were there any fears that you had, any reservations you had, you took that plunge, but was there that like, I'm going to hold my breath, I'm not going to get too excited? Did you have any of that?
No. Well, actually, maybe at the beginning. At the beginning, when I started, I was like, okay, what did I get myself into? And if I didn't know if I was able to continue this, meaning like, okay, I know I have my workouts and all that. And I feel like the first month where you're kind of finding out what works for you, but for me,
Yeah.
uh, found it after about 3 weeks. I was like, okay, I can do this 4 days a week. This is me. I can do it. And now going back, I feel like I don't think that I could live any other way because I look forward to my Monday
Mm.
because I know that on after Thursday I have 3 days where I can pretty much reward myself
Yeah.
because I know I know that I can have those 3 days where I can, I don't know how to say, I check in with myself, not with anyone else. How that works.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Were you nervous about anything going in?
Yes, nervous is because, like I said, I've started many things before and I never finished them, or I've reached to kind of where I wanted to be, but then it's like, so I'm like, okay, I really got to pull through and not to look back at the other things. So certain things where you're like, okay, I don't know if I can do this, because it's like, okay, again, I have to do something. But then at the end of the day, you think about it, you go to work 5 days a week.
Mm.
Single moms, they don't have time off. They're always doing something with their kids. So it's like, I always get that example. I have a sister-in-law who's a stay-home mom, and it's a tough job. It's a tough job. So I always look at her and I was like, she has no days off. I got no excuses.
Mm. Now, tell me this. You've tried other things. You've heard other coaches, probably different strategies, plans online. From kind of your perspective, where you sit and everything you've experienced so far within my coaching program, what would you say makes my coaching program different or sustainable from the rest of the programs?
Well, you, first of all, you're always available to answer any questions, and you have, if I have any doubts, and if I have any questions about, let's say, about foods, workouts, I get I speak them out loud, and then I see the results, because then you put everything in place as far as workout and kind of seeing what, tracking what I'm doing. That right there is telling me that, okay, this is the right path.
Yeah. And so do you feel, but like how you're losing weight, do you feel like you're being restricted? Do you feel like you're on a diet? Do you
No,
feel like this is just something that's temporary but not sustainable long term? Like from like almost like a philosophy standpoint, what are some differences?
I feel like, okay, so like going back to when I started, I was like, okay, I'm on a mission. I need to lose this many pounds. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to cut off. And then once you start the program, you figured out that you don't have to starve. You can continue eating your stuff, just kind of watch what the portions are. Because for me, I'm not a breakfast person. I don't eat lunch. I'm a dinner person. And so to me, I feel like with you, you didn't say, hey, you need to have 3 meals, you have to meal prep. And none of that was something that that stood out for me, that you don't have to have boxes and boxes of meals. I mean, some people prefer that, and that's fine. But for me, I sometimes, because I homeschool my kids, so sometimes when I come from work, I do stuff with him, I eat and then go to sleep, and then when you wake up and you go to work, and it's like, oh, I forgot to meal prep. So I don't feel guilty going out and having something. So I feel like with this program, I know I'm not restricted. That's the biggest thing.
Love that. And this is something I try to communicate to people is like there is no right one size fits all. Like
Yes.
what works for you, right, works for you, but it may not work for the next person. What works for me works for me, but may not 100% work exactly for that next person.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like I genuinely do approach it from a like a customized standpoint where every person is different, but then there are certain mindsets that maybe are taught that we stick within because those are the
Yeah.
mindsets that will take you ultimately to your goal.
What's your question again? I'm sorry.
So my question is, do I genuinely give you the freedom to kind of
Yeah.
have it
Yeah.
where it's what works for you, or do you feel like I just put you in a box and say, this is what you got to do. If you can't do it, then it's on you.
Oh, no, no. That's one thing that why I was following you and watching, is because I pretty much, you customize, but I do what fits me. So if I don't eat breakfast, okay, I'll take my protein shake to get that protein in, but it's not like I don't get a message from you, hey, you skipped your breakfast, or you didn't eat enough carbs, or where's your fiber, you know? But at the same time, you see, like in the app, you watch what you're supposed, it tracks you. And so that really makes it a lot easier. You know what? I want to say the hardest part was from the beginning, was with calories. Cause I was like,
Mm,
how am I going to, because with keto, you can have, as long as it has no carbs, you can have as much as you want. And to
mm,
me, and I was, how do I do this? This is, I think like the working out portion and all that was easy. The biggest thing was calories. And then now, when I, in the morning, when I would open my app, it's like the first thing, okay, I need to add this is what I had. Okay, this is at my lunchtime. I know what to put in. And it's like, you don't even think about it, you just do it.
mm.
But again, a lot of it has to do what's in here. You have to change. Nobody, because obviously people can say, hey, you might need to lose some weight, but it's nothing going to change unless you start changing. And that for me was, if I reach out, and I will be the first one, and I know that Yuri's going to be accountable for me, but I have to be accountable for me too, because like you said, it's a lifestyle. So when I'm done with the program, I want to continue living this way, because this is, it's so easy to do.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So tell us, where are you today? Like, to tell me a little bit about your results, or whoever is watching. What progress have you made over the last 20 weeks? How do you feel?
I
Like,
think
you can talk numbers, how much you lost, right? Maybe clothes size, energy, just all of that, like confidence level. Like, what are your results over the last 20 weeks?
so. Clothes wise, I was between 16 and 18, which that to me was very scary, because I was like, okay, I've been 10 for the longest time and I've never seen uh, 18, and that scared me. So uh, now I'm between like 12 and 14, but mainly 12.
Okay.
I gotta say, I'm still shocked that I eat whatever I want. I, there's not like, okay, I did keto and I went to a store, and you watch all these cakes, everything that you normally would never buy. You want all that, but
All
for me, no. I wear dresses now. I never wear dresses.
right.
Um, which to me, every time before, everyone would say, why don't you wear a dress? Why don't you wear a dress? I was like, no, no. And now when I go to the store, first thing I go is to the dresses aisle. But I try not to buy too many now, because I bought few like a month ago for Christmas that is too big now.
Oh, dang. I told you, I told you it happened. You would lose weight, you get in your clothes that's too tight, but then that clothes eventually will get too big on you, and then you bought new stuff and now it's too big. That's crazy.
Every year at work, we usually, like last year, we did more. We did a lot of activities, playing tennis after work, basketball. I mean, active, active. But I skip a lot of the times, because by the time we play and you run around after the ball, you're feeling nauseous, dizzy, because you're so I wasn't active. And then yesterday we went to play pickleball, like a
Mhm.
tennis ball, and I was well, not me, but everyone else was impressed, because my team always won.
Wow, that's what's up. You had the energy, stamina. Okay, so you
But
dropped.
2 hours we played, after I finished, I still went and did my workout.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. I love it. So you lost what, 4 dress sizes? Is that right?
Yeah, 22 pounds kind of, and going down even more. I feel like I hit a little plateau, and it was kind of like the same, then it went up, but then now I'm seeing it kind of going down, down, and down.
Good. Okay, so you said 22 pounds? 22
Yes,
pounds? You went from 18, 16 to 12, 14.
yes. And then in my waist, I was
Mhm.
47. I am 33 now.
Wow. Wow, that's what? That's 14
Yes,
inches?
big
My
time. To me, it
God.
was like, what?
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Did you like think the tape measure was wrong or like messed up?
I a few times
No.
I did. I bought the one that's the with Wi-Fi. I mean, with Bluetooth, where it tells you.
Uh-huh.
Then you go get the original one.
Hey, true story. When I was on my weight loss journey, I took like a 2, 3 week break from stepping on the scale. And I stepped on the scale 3 weeks later. I'm like, something's off with the scale because it like dropped significantly. I'm like, there's something wrong. I was like kind of irritated. I'm like, man, like this scale's kind of new still. So I went Amazon, ordered a new one, stepped on it, same thing. I'm like, what is happening here? I had this moment of like, did I really just lose all this weight? But that's cool. So, what about your energy levels or how you're kind of feeling emotionally before and now as a result of this kind of ongoing transformation for you?
A lot more confidence are coming back.
Mm.
I am a lot more energized. I went to on vacation with my husband recently, and like I said before, I've seen people work out at the gym, and I always walk by and they're like, "Hello, you're on vacation. You could skip the gym." And to me, they were always like, "Okay, weirdos, go swimming, go to the beach." But I was one of those weirdos this time, and I loved it because um, it kind of like you look forward to, okay, so what is your day going to be like? And then a lot more energy, a lot more energy. Weekends come, okay, let's go do something. It's just completely different from what it was before.
Wow. Honestly, as a coach, that right there, what you just said, that you used to look at people who would exercise on vacation and you would think, well, what are you doing? You're on vacation. To now you're the person that is exercising and you loved it. To me, that is my biggest win for you. Because what that is showing me, there's something that's changing here. And what I tell people all the time is like, you'll become that person eventually. You may think it's weird now. You may
Mhm.
think, eating healthier is not a fun way of eating because quote unquote you're a foodie, but you change, right, as a person as you begin to lose weight, as you begin to see this transformation. And the fact that you're like, I had just as much fun and I enjoyed working out on the vacation
Mhm.
is amazing. Because what I would not have wanted to happen was you going, what was for you to go to vacation, but you're
Yeah.
just making me work out. Like I'm trying to vacation. For me, that would be like pulling your teeth, not sustainable. But because that change happened within you, I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Thank you for sharing that. Uh, okay, so let me ask you this final question. Someone's listening to our conversation here, and maybe they're considering getting some kind of support, whether it's with me or with somebody else. It doesn't have to be with me. What advice would you give someone who's on the fence, thinking about investing in themselves, not some kind of diet, but like into a coach, into some kind of program? What advice would you give that person who's on the fence right now?
Don't wait till tomorrow. But you have to, when going into this, you really have to want this. Not just because, okay, I saw Yuri, he posted that I can eat whatever, but you really want to know that you're going to change you. So everything's going to change around you and people will change around you. Because before, if you had people that you always went out with and eating out late at night and just kind of like being careless, this is the time to really start thinking where we live and how we live. And I feel like if you are ready and you know that this is you, I would recommend starting today, because I kept telling myself, I'll start Monday, I'll start New Year's, I'll start after my birthday, I'll start another month, because you're like, okay, this is not an even number. I got to start on this day. So it's like, you can tell that yourself all you want, but just know that you have to come to a decision somehow and someday. And I feel like nobody should tell you, but you need to really look over your life. And it's like, are you happy where you are? And if you are, that's fine. But I gotta say, going back to 22 pounds and now, my health, my happiness is so much different than it was before. I am a lot more active, a lot more happier, and my family, my friends, they all see this. So to me, that's like the biggest thing. So, but you have to really want this, because coaches, yes, they're here, they'll help you. But if you're not ready to commit, it's something that we all struggle with, I feel like. And you just have to go into it and trust the process, because it really works. It might be scary at the beginning, because it was for me, but I feel like going into this and getting used to everything, it's kind of like I wouldn't want to do it any other way.
So you have no regrets.
No, no, no.
Love it. Love it. Well, look, you're not there at your ultimate destination. We still got work to do. So I'm definitely looking forward to this upcoming year. And many people, they start a journey and they lose some, right? 15, 20 pounds. But rarely do people reach their ultimate destination because they grow complacent, or because they get compliments and they're like, oh, I guess this is good enough. And so I'm looking forward to 2023 with you, to actually getting you to your ultimate goal. Because honestly, girl, weight loss is just the beginning. Most people, their only health goal for the most part is what? To lose weight. And for me, and I say this all the time inside of our community, losing weight sucks. There's nothing sexy about losing weight, nothing fun about it, right? But it's like getting out of debt. There's nothing fun about Dave Ramsey and following his steps. But it's when you get out of it and then you start building wealth, that's when money gets exciting. Fitness is the same thing, right? Once you get rid of the excess fat, okay, now you're in a position to say, you know what? I enjoy hiking and I wanted more energy to hike, but now I'm healthy enough that I could do trail running. Instead of hiking up, the hills in Tahoe, I'm gonna actually run down and up and actually enjoy it. And so my point, and I just want to encourage you right now, Sofiya, is that's the first domino that falls. And before you know it, you're like, I want to try this sport, or I want to do this. And it's like the old you would have never fathomed to even think about doing that activity, because we're just so beyond. And so that is why I'm all about, creating the best version of you. And typically that happens when that first domino falls, when we lose all of our extra weight, we have the energy, the confidence, and then your desire to work out while you're on vacation, you're going to have new desires for things that you never thought you would care about, all because you're more flexible, more energetic, you're more stronger because you've been lifting. And so I'm excited for you. Honestly, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what's in store for you. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you, value you. Thank you so much for your time. Encouraging anybody that's watching this live right now or the replay. And yeah, like I think you and I both won't even realize the impact that just our conversation is having and will have for someone that's just kind of on the fence and just trying to find a weight loss strategy that's going to work for them. And so definitely appreciate your openness and realness, if that's a word. So thank you so much, Sofiya.
You're welcome.